parce qu'on est au tout début là, c'est ça. Ouais, c'est ça, c'est le tout début. Alors, c'est qui lui?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Why must it always be a good evening?
I was just being polite. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you some questions, if I may.
Don't like questions. Or doctors. And the name is Seymour Fishburne, if you must know.
D'accord.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
A shithole filled with maggots. Liars and thieves, all of them.
Are you thinking about someone in particular?
Nope. Hate them all. Especially these petty, whining little shitbag beggars.
Is there no one who deserves your leniency then?
Well, Tom from our local is somewhat of a decent bloke. At least, unlike most maggots, he knows how to listen without opening his trap.
What's your occupation?
I take care of my mum. That's what I do. She's the only good thing in my life. Even though I don't treat her so good.
You seem upset. Is something bothering you?
I lost the necklace I bought her. I'm a fucking idiot. A worthless idiot.
Sometimes it's hard.
Enquête de nouveau.
Son.
I just want her to smile. No, I was thankful for her patience, appreciated like... God knows she deserves it.
Any chance you can help me
On manque
find
d'indices
Sean
pour lui.
The sad saint. Why would you talk to that cunt?
Actually,
Ok.
that's confidential.
Really? Well, go ask someone else then. I'm sure Tom Watts will gladly answer you.
Merci.
Goodbye, Mr. Fish.
C'était un plaisir de discuter avec toi. Encore un inconnu, mais que des gens que je connais pas ici, c'est quoi le bordel?
Hello, boy.
Hello. Good evening.
Did I scare you? You have nothing to fear from me.
No, it's just that people prefer to avoid me.
Well, I won't. I'm a doctor.
My name is Rufus, sir. Rufus Kingsbury.
D'accord.
What can you tell me about this region?
It's all about staying out of trouble. But since most people prefer to avoid me, it's pretty easy.
C'est une façon de voir les choses.
Why do people avoid you?
They call me Rufus the Curse. Around here, I'm a bit of a bad luck charm.
Ouais.
Have you ever thought about leaving?
Where else would I go? At least I know these streets and some people around here. This is my city, for better or worse.
What do you do around here, Rufus?
I listen to the news on the docks, sir. And I smile at those kind enough to spare me a bob.
Do you have a job?
It's hard to work, what with my head and all. Since I was a boy, I've always had trouble remembering what I do and why I do it.
What do people say about this place?
Things have been tense between the wet boot boys and the communists. They both feel they should run the docks.
Ok.
Are you alone? Where is your family?
I don't have any. My parents are dead.
So you have no home. You're sleeping rough.
No. I mean, yes. I live on the streets. I have no home.
Nous sommes tous seuls en réalité, on devrait faire attention.
You should be careful, Rufus. There are things that lurk in the shadows of this city. Things that prey on the lonely and the desperate.
I've known worse. I'm not all alone. I have Mrs. Fishburne. She's been very kind to me.
Why do you think she's so considerate?
I can't say, sir. I guess she's a good soul. Sometimes it's like she replaces the mother I lost, even if we're not related.
D'accord. On a eu un indice, mais c'est pas suffisant.
Do you know a man who lives in this part of town? A man named Sean Hampton. I'm looking for him.
Sorry, sir. I don't know a lot of folks around here. Most prefer to avoid me.
Well, I don't think you should talk to him. He may be very sick.
Thanks for the tip. You might want to check the Turquoise Turtle. It's a pub not far from here. The barkeep knows everyone in these parts.
Ouais, je sais, c'est là que mon histoire a commencé à peu près.
Be careful. Take care.
Voilà là, Stella Fishburne. Qui s'occupe du Rufus apparemment. D'ailleurs il a un nom de chien, c'est bizarre. Donc là c'est pour aller où ça? C'est pour aller dans ce quartier là en fait. Enfin les Dock West. Alors plus tard après on va redescendre d'ici, mais on va aller dans la maison voir la dame. Toc toc.
Good evening, madam. I'm Dr. Reed. Could I come in?
Why? What do you want?
I work at the Pembroke Hospital. I'm investigating the flu epidemic in this area.
Oh, the Spanish flu. Well, that's quite liberal of you, Doctor. But this is no time to be knocking at people's doors.
Y a pas de cycle dans le jeu.
The disease takes away the good people too, madam. Why not let me in?
It's Mrs. Fishburne. Stella Fishburne. And yes, indeed. Why not let a doctor in?
Bah voilà. C'était pas compliqué. Non, non, j'ai juste exploré et un peu pillé ta maison et après je m'en vais. Et te parler aussi, mais c'est un détail. Ça. C'est tout? Bon, c'est mieux que rien. Mais... Ah.
It's locked, all right.
Ah, évidemment. Ça me manquait, ça aussi.
So you have questions about the flu, then?
C'est ça.
Yes, among other things.
Forgive my rudeness at the door. It's just my son doesn't like strangers coming in the house.
Bah, elle a un fils. D'accord.
How is life around here?
Life has always been hard in the East End. But it's everywhere nowadays, isn't it?
Mm.
Do you think the increase in violence has anything to do with the epidemic?
Don't know. But it's most likely linked to the gangs, if you ask me. Recently, it's like everyone has had to pick a side.
Parce que c'est pas le cas avant, on
Violence
choisit
has
pas un camp.
always fed on poverty, don't you think? It's a cruel law of the human condition.
And selfishness is their rotten fruit. These days, you can just die in the gutter and no one will bat an eye.
Ça a toujours été le cas, ça.
May I ask what you do for a living, Mrs. Fishburne?
Since my husband died, I worked at the Dawson Rope factory, but it closed before the war. I occasionally help at the night asylum, in exchange for food.
Ok.
Did your husband die in the war?
Oh no, my Jack was a docker. He died when my Seymour was just a lad. The poor boy saw his dad slip and fall from that scaffolding.
How do you pay the rent then?
My Seymour works at the docks, just like his dad. He's very attached to the house he grew up in. It's not always easy, but we get by all right.
D'accord. Dites-moi en plus sur
The
l'orphelin.
orphan that regards you as a mother. Please tell me about him, Stella.
You mean Rufus? I wish I could do even more for the poor boy. Most people are so selfish.
But you're not.
Years may have passed, but I haven't forgotten how it feels to go through days with nothing but an empty stomach.
Ok, c'est tout. Pas appris grand chose du coup.
I'm trying to locate Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where he could be?
You talking about the one everyone calls the sad saint? The man who takes care of the homeless?
The very same, Miss Fishburne.
I'm sorry. I don't know where his shelter is. But if you ask around, I'm sure you'll get your answer.
Enfin, pour le moment, j'ai demandé à tout le quartier et j'ai rien obtenu.
Goodbye, Miss Fishburne. Take care of yourself.
Tout le monde me dit ouais, vous devriez demander au quartier, vous trouverez votre réponse. Ouais. Pas convaincu, hein. Alors, qu'est-ce qu'il y a ici? Donc là, c'était le quai où on avait trouvé le cadavre dans le bateau. Cadavre qui n'est plus. Oh, le bateau, il est tout frais maintenant. Attends, on va aller dans l'auberge. On a Dyson qui est fatigué. J'en ai avec moi ou pas des trucs pour soigner les gens? Je sais plus. Bon, ici il va se passer un truc à mon avis.
Mark my words, miss. These murders are the work of a vampire.
A vampire? Whatever do you mean?
I'm a tracker of these creatures. A vampire hunter.
You'd best be off to your hunting then. For if the sewer dog is back and hunting all these poor folk, he needs a catching.
A sewer dog? What's it look like?
It's an old story. A monster with daggers for teeth and icy claws. He comes of a sudden, nighttime, claiming innocence, then vanishes.
Teeth, claws, murders by night? Your sewer dog is my business. He's the kind of prey I hunt, milady.
D'accord. Je peux looter le cadavre ou...
Not a drop of blood left in his body. This is the work of a vampire.
Oh, donc c'est bien un vampire qui a fait ça.
Good evening, sir. Have you witnessed any suspicious activity or strange events recently?
C'est
And
moi
what
qui
do you
pose les
define as a
questions.
strange event? More to the point, who are you?
My name is Ichabod Throgmorton,
Ok.
vampire hunter extraordinaire and warden of the East End.
A vampire hunter? Really?
I know what you're thinking. I'm just another lunatic howling at the moon, but I'm not. The bloodsuckers exist, and they're close.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'd like to hear more about these vampires you're hunting.
A man of science? Well, I'll be glad to enlighten you.
Cool.
What can you tell me about this neighborhood?
Did you hear about what happened to Jack Gillingham? Poor boy. It's a shame I wasn't around to protect him.
It's impossible to protect everyone. The violence seems endemic in this part of town.
But it's my duty. I am convinced Jack Gillingham was killed by a vampire. These evil rodents are spreading like a plague.
Nouvel indice pour lui, d'accord.
So, how exactly are you protecting these people? I'm curious.
I patrol late at night, investigating anything unusual. I try and encourage people to stay indoors, but people are careless.
Can I help in any way?
Actually, yes. I plan to put up posters to alert the population to the vampire threat.
Are you asking me to paste posters about vampires around the docks?
If you wouldn't mind. If you did that, then I can focus on my patrols.
On a vraiment la quête, oh, c'est une blague.
How do you identify a vampire?
It's simple, really. They can't stand daylight. They're afraid of garlic and holy symbols. They also cannot enter a house without being invited.
Have you ever killed one of these creatures? Yourself, I mean.
Of course I have. What kind of question is that? It's a dirty business, believe me.
Je suis pas convaincu qu'il ait tué vraiment un vampire, mais... Je dirais plutôt un charlatan.
Have you heard of the Guard of Priwen?
Of course. They're dedicated hunters. A little militant for my taste, but they do let anyone join.
Were you ever tempted to join the Guard yourself?
I did think about it, but I'm more of a silent hunter. They're more of a sanitary militia.
So you hunt alone? That sounds risky.
Vampires are just like every other predator. They hunt when they're hungry and follow certain patterns. It's just a matter of observation and patience.
I'm looking
Alors,
for
si
Sean
c'est-
Hampton. Can you help me, Mr. Throgmorton?
The sad saint? He should be at his night asylum at this hour.
Ah,
But I cannot tell you how to find it, sorry.
Really? Why is that?
It's nothing personal, Doctor. I'm sure your intentions are good, but people who sleep there, they have plenty of reasons to hide.
d'accord.
Maybe at least you can tell me who could help me find him.
Tell you what, go and chat with Tom Watts. He's a bartender and good judge of character. If he talks to you, then it's fine by me.
I could make you tell me, but I respect your refusal.
Ok.
You really believe Sean is a saint, don't you?
All I will say is this. Gossip has it that when he was a child, he was molested. By a priest of all people. Funny thing is, though, it only strengthened his faith.
D'accord. Ok.
Goodbye.
Au revoir.
And good hunting, Mr. Throgmorton.
Il nous a appris quelque chose quand même. Donc ici on a le barman, on va lui parler en dernier, on va d'abord parler à... Attends, il y a qui est malade? Lui ça va, il est en bonne santé, elle aussi. Que lui qui est fatigué, ok. Il n'y aura pas des marques au sol ou quoi?
Evening, miss.
Well, I never. That's a first. Customers who make that much mess rarely come back. Never mind in fancy togs.
I'm much more myself than when we first met. By the way, I'm Jonathan, Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Il a
Welcome
mis le
back to the
bazar la
Turquoise
dernière fois.
Turtle then, Doctor. I'm Sabrina Cavendish. How can I help you?
What can you tell me about this area?
People don't appreciate that line of questioning round here. You best be more careful with what you say, sir.
You look concerned, Miss Cavendish.
This is a bad borough. Most people I know are afraid. Most locals will rob you blind, or worse. You best mind your step.
Ok, c'est sympa.
If you're uncertain about your safety here, the docks might not be the right place for you.
I got responsibilities. And it's not like I got the money to move anywhere else anyway.
This place seems, how shall I put it, very colorful. I'm sure it has plenty of stories to tell.
We get people of all sorts here. It's that rare place in the docks where you can have a drink without being murdered. At least it's not happened yet.
So this bar is neutral territory then?
Yeah. Tom's convinced this is something the locals need. No one ever draws a weapon here. That's one of the reasons I accepted the job.
Ok.
Your boss must be quite the negotiator to force such an agreement.
Yeah. Tom's a great bloke. Mr. Hampton, who runs the night asylum, he's the only other man that's able to keep peace around here.
Tiens, un refuge de nuit, ok.
Excuse my curiosity, but where exactly are you from, Miss Cavendish?
Something bothering you? What, my name? Or my complexion?
Believe me, I never judge someone on their place of birth or the color of their skin.
If that's true, you'd be one of the few not to make fun of me. Just you, Tom, Dyson, Miss Fishburne, and of course Mr. Hampton.
I'm sorry if I worried you. I was just curious to find out if you know this part of town well.
Nosy. My dad was a sailor from Bombay, and my mum was a maid born up in Glasgow. They got married in London, and here I am.
Ok.
Sabrina, tell me about your true feelings for your boss.
I love Tom. Not ashamed of it. Don't care if the customers joke about it, neither.
Who's mocking you?
I mean, we're always together. People will talk, won't they?
Does Tom love you?
Yeah, but he's always reluctant to take it further. It's not because I'm younger, or because of the colour of my skin. He hates jokes about us.
Miss Cavendish, would you be willing to help me locate Sean Hampton?
You better ask Tom, sir.
Why not answer me directly?
We respect the privacy of our customers here, sir. Only Tom can decide who to speak to and what he'll say to them.
Ouais, va vraiment falloir parler à Tom. Quoi.
Goodbye, Miss Cavendish.
Damn it.
On fait le tour.
I think.
Good evening, sir.
Whatever.
Don't you recognize me? We met a few nights ago.
Don't take it personally. I spent a lot of energy forgetting what I did the night before.
Yes, you had definitely drunk too much then as well. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I'm Dyson Delaney. I'll try to remember you. This time.
Inebriation aside,
Yes.
take this then. And perhaps you could try to slow down the alcohol intake too.
Hey, Doc, you don't really want me to stop the only remedy I can afford.
Bon, s'il peut arrêter de boire, c'est déjà pas mal.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Delaney?
I drink. I drink in the morning and at noon. I drink at night. And then I drink some more.
Ok.
Why do you drink so much?
Maybe it's because I prefer dying slowly. Death can be so abrupt. Personally, I like to see mine coming at my own pace.
You sound very sad, sir.
That's because I am, Doc.
Don't you work at all?
I'd love to, but I don't have the time. Didn't I tell you? Drink in the morning and at noon. I drink at night.
Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town? Except for the cheap drinks, I mean.
How dare you say such a thing? I love this neighborhood. So friendly. So joyful.
No reason at all to rejoice, then? Life is hopeless and then we die, is that it?
Let me tell you a story.
All right. Go on.
A few years ago, when I believed a resolute man could change things around here for good, a tragedy occurred nearby.
What kind of tragedy?
It was a bomb. Bomb that exploded and killed many people. Metal and blood everywhere. Shouts, fire, broken window of the shoe shop, the torn street light.
You lost people you loved that day, didn't you?
I've lost everything. But you know what the worst part is? I don't even remember where it happened. I've drunk so much to forget it, and now I can't remember where it was. I can't pay my homage to the dead.
I'm sorry, Mr. Delaney.
It's okay. If you ever find the place, just leave a flower for me there.
Okay.
Even if you tell me where it is, I'm not sure I'd memorize it.
Et c'est une quête, forcément.
Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town? Except for the cheap drinks, I mean.
How dare you say such a thing? I love this neighborhood. So friendly. So joyful.
No reason at all to rejoice, then? Life is hopeless and then we die, is that it?
Let me tell you a story.
Another time, perhaps. Is there...
How dare...
Why are you so cynical?
Cynicism is the polite way to express despair, Doctor.
Ok.
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
I really don't know. I heard he'd been abducted. I don't know if he's back.
Who could tell me then?
About the sad saint. I'll try asking Tom what's about him.
Goodbye, Mr.
Ok. Bon, il est plus malade, donc ça va. On va voir en haut, tiens. Ça, c'était là où il y avait le dock. Est-ce qu'il y a du neuf? Genre des items ou quoi?
I should just run as far away from this place as I can.
Non. Ça, c'est ouvert ici? Hmm. Un peu d'argent. On dit pas non. Celle-là, elle est fermée par contre.
I cannot enter.
Ça c'est le soulard, ok. Il reste plus.
I've offered a drink to the boy.
Je vais vite faire voir derrière le bar là.
Just another lost orphan.
Ah.
Get what's coming to them.
Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, sir. How are you tonight? Back to the docks, are we?
You remember me
Oh.
then?
Of course I do. You're that man who seemed so lost when he entered my bar a few nights ago.
Thank you for your hospitality. I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way.
I'm still Tom Watts. Welcome back, Doctor.
Ouais, j'avais pas déjà fait tout ça. Bon.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
It's not that bad. Thanks to people like the sad saint of the East End.
Who?
Sean Hampton, our own private holy figure. Few are foolish enough to make peace with the gangs. Sean is one of them.
How is it you can keep this place open? This part of town doesn't seem particularly safe.
Well, since everybody needs a drink, my pub is considered neutral ground by most groups.
I see. So you get pressure from all sides about how this place should be run, do you?
Or something like that. Nothing that a few wise words and a bottle of gin can't solve.
You're something of a figurehead around here.
I'm only pouring alcohol for everyone to forget their troubles. Sean Hampton is the one giving them long-term hope.
Mhm.
Since I'm here, is there anything I can do?
Well, perhaps, Doctor. Peace partly depends on my stock of gin. With the epidemic, my supplies are running low.
How could a physician help you in this matter?
I have a small warehouse just past the quarantine line. Perhaps, with you being a doctor, you could go there and come back?
Doctors aren't immune to disease, you know. Very well. Show me where it is. I'll see what I can do.
Oh, thank you, sir. Here's the key to get in. You're about to save many dry throats.
Au moins, je chope une clé de l'entrepôt. Même si je sais pas où il est l'entrepôt.
Why does your waitress feel in danger working on the docks?
This part of town is dangerous for all, but for women it's worse, as always. Sabrina is a brave girl, but she can't help feeling in danger.
Do you think she has good reason to feel this way? Are you not worried about her safety?
Of course I am. The truth is, she's tougher than me deep inside. She just has to learn to control it.
Sabrina seems very fond of you, Tom.
I like her too, I really do. I know I'm her boss, and I'm much older and all. But I like her for sure.
What is bothering you then?
Sabrina is an angry one. She wears it like a coat. I'm not sure I can make her shed that anger. It hurts to see her like that.
Ok.
Tom, I need to find Sean Hampton as quickly as...
Sad Saint was recovering at Pembroke Hospital. Did he leave or something?
I believe he returned to his flock. Can you confirm that?
Oh, I bet you're right. Sean can't help but worry about the poor and sick. Oh, I guess it has something to do with what happened to him as a baby.
Please, tell me.
Well, I don't like to gossip, but I heard that the Sad Saint was abandoned as a baby in front of a Catholic orphanage in Dublin. That would explain his faith and need to help everyone.
The important thing is I find him, quickly.
Why not try his night asylum? He takes care of those who need a meal or a roof there.
Where is it?
It's in an old warehouse, northwest of here. Just follow the bank to the west and go north when you reach the end of the pier.
Ok. Ça, il a pas trop hésité à nous dire où il était en fait.
Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
On a tout ce qu'il faut comme info.
Should have offered a drink to the boy. Be he cursed or not, he's just another lost orphan.
Alors, on a l'air d'avoir pas mal exploré la zone. Non, c'est juste là en fait. C'est pas très loin. Donc il manque encore 6 personnes ici quand même. Punaise. Il avait quoi? Un rhume? Anémie. Mhm. Ah mais je peux peut-être les soigner en fait. Faudrait que j'aille voir. Alors retrouver les fossoyeurs. C'est là tout en bas. Prendre des affiches dans le tas. D'accord. Ah ouais, il y a 15 quêtes dans les docks. Oh. Localiser du site où a eu lieu l'attaque à la bombe. Et le collier perdu. Ah! Retrouver le collier perdu par Seymour Fishburne. C'est ici? Oh là là.